door, pull up in that '04, pedal to the metal, says she wanna hit the floor more.
Okay. We need to talk. The Atlanta Braves, they have to win the World Series this year or else. Let's talk about that. But first, subscribe to Atlanta Sports Unlimited for the greatest coverage of Atlanta sports teams right here on this YouTube channel. We're also sponsored by Prize Picks. You can go over under 2 to 5 players, various sports, and just put in the promotion code ASU as in Atlanta Sports Unlimited. Plus, this is a year of Hank Aaron, the 50th anniversary of 715. And look, you can read all about it and more in my book, The Real Hank Aaron. Right here, you can get an autograph from me, and I've also have this other book, Red Brick Magic. Sean McVay, John Harbaugh, Miami University's cradle coaches. We all went to Miami Universities right here. You can subscribe, or not subscribe, but get it right here, and I will autograph it for you. Now, let's start this way with the Atlanta Braves. The third most underachieving team in the history of Major League Baseball were the Brooklyn Dodgers of Jackie Robinson. I know you're gasping. Yes, Jackie Robinson, 1947. He's there for about a decade. Those Brooklyn Dodgers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They went to 6 World Series, and they only won 1, barely, and that was in 1955 against the Yankees. The other times they lost to the Yankees in all those other World Series, and I know what you're saying, well, those Yankees were a dynasty. Well, yeah, but then again, we're talking about these Brooklyn Dodgers. They were loaded. I mean, talking about Jackie Robinson, Hall of Fame. Roy Campanella, Hall of Fame. Don Newcomb, Hall of Fame. Pee Wee Reese, Hall of Fame. Gil Hodges, Hall of Fame. Duke Snyder, Hall of Fame. They had a Hall of Fame manager, too. They had a guy by the name of Walter Austin from Miami, Ohio, by the way. Okay, they had all these guys. One world championship. The second most underachieving team, the Chicago Cubs. I know you're shocked. I know they got that reputation of being losers, and they were losers, but there was that stretch starting in '69 when they were the best team in baseball, either 1A, 1B, or 1C, talent-wise. 1969, 1970, 1971, 1972, and 1973. They won nothing. Zero. They didn't make it to the World Series. They didn't win the pennant. They didn't even win the division. First year of division play in 1969. They had this huge lead. You probably heard about this, maybe some of you. They were up by 8 or 9 games in August, and they lost by 8 or 9 games to the Mets. In '69, they choked, in other words, those Cubs to the Miracle Mets. That's what they call them, the Miracle Mets. No, they weren't the Miracle Mets. They were the beneficial Mets of the Cubs choking. All right, the Mets went on to beat the Braves that year in the NLCS, and then the Mets went on to win the World Series over the Baltimore Orioles. Should have been the Chicago Cubs. But you know what? With that loaded team of the guys I just named, okay, from '69, '70, '71, '72, with Randy Huntley, a perennial all-star at catcher, Ernie Banks, a baseball Hall of Famer at first base, Glenn Beckert, a perennial all-star at second base, Don Kessinger, a perennial all-star at shortstop, Ron Santo, who was a baseball Hall of Famer at third base, Billy Williams, baseball Hall of Famer in left field, Ferguson Jenkins, one of the greatest pitchers of all time, Hall of Famer, Leo DeRosa, Hall of Fame manager. Every year from '69, the record was increasingly worse, except for 1 year. Anyway, so number one, the most underachieving team of all time, the Atlanta Braves. Not the current one, but we're talking about the one that won 14 consecutive division titles, starting in 1991. I mean, we were talking about the Braves team for the bulk of that run. They had 5 Hall of Famers. they had John Smoltz. They had Tom Glavine. They had Greg Maddux as the pitchers. They had a Hall of Fame third baseman in Chipper Jones. Hall of Fame first baseman in Fred McGriff. Hall of Fame manager in Bobby Cox. Hall of Fame general manager and John Sherholtz. 14 consecutive division titles. 1 world championship, and they barely won that one. That was in 1995 because of it was a strike year and everything. Cleveland Indians should have won that year. Anyway, so here's my point. Current Braves team. They've won 6 consecutive division titles. Once again, they've got the best team in baseball. They've had the best team in baseball for the last 3 years. Well, definitely the last 2. What happened the 2 previous years? They choked this current Braves team in the first round of the playoffs to the Philadelphia Phillies. They're going to win the division again for the seventh straight time. I mean, so if they lose again this year, they're creeping up on those Brooklyn Dodgers, who are the third most underachieving team of all time. So they got to win it this year. Will they win it this year? We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
This is my falsetto, wicked potion with the slow pour. This is my addiction, make me wanna go for more. Pale